This is Coming Up Roses with Kevin.
And I'm Kelly, and today is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, episode 55.
55, the speed limit.
Yeah, our episode number's finally gotten higher than my age.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that happened a couple episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the speed limit. That's what we should call this episode.
The speed limit.
The speed limit. I can't drive 55.
Most of the speed limits, though, are like on highway speeds. In Virginia, is like 65, maybe
65, 70. So we got a few more episodes to get there.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We took a couple weeks off, or a week off, and then we got, last year we took a week off. So.
We did. We deserve a week off, people.
Yeah.
We're not slaves to the machine.
Yeah. It's, it's a free podcast, so you can't bitch.
Maybe what we can do next week is we have this week and then we're off. Well, I'm off for a whole week. Kevin was initially off for the week with me. But then there was a schedule shift change and that got all messed up. So
I got to work in the middle of the week.
He still has to work a couple days right in the middle of the week. But
we weren't going anywhere. It was going to be a staycation. But
would have just been nice to have an option.
Yeah, it would have been. But what are you going to do?
What are you going to do, right? So it's April.
Finally.
Of 2022 already.
It seems to be going slow this year.
Really?
I think it's just unbearably slow.
I don't know. I feel like April got here. I mean, when you think about all the stuff that's gone on so far this year, I guess.
It's been a lot. Been a lot.
But I was glad to see April. And I'll be glad to see May, and I'll be even happier to see June.
Yeah, June's going to be awesome. June's going to be awesome. You're going to be off. We got the vacation with the fam. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, my stress level lately has been ridiculous to the point where I'm like forgetting things on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
I had a night where like I went to take my medicine before bed, and I accidentally took the medicine I take in the morning at night. And then it's not that huge of a deal, so I just won't take. I'll go ahead and take my night medicine minus this one thing. That thought went in my head and out my head because then I popped everything right in my mouth and took all my night medicine on top of all my morning. And it's not like it's a lot, but there are just some things I prefer to take in the morning because it's harder to sleep with them. But
well, you had 3 straight years of high stress. Because
hasn't the world?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you, like 3 years ago, you had this one kid that was trouble. And just as he was finally starting to come around, that's when the pandemic hit. And, everything sank downhill. And that was a struggle. And then last year, it was all struggle because you were, half in, half out. 1 week versus the other, and the school board being all stupid, crazy. Fucking all the stuff that went on with that.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
plus
you still
that same
had
kid,
the same kid
a second year,
who all the progress you made before, basically rescinded. Not all of it. I mean, he wasn't back to square one, but
no.
he had regressed. Mm-hmm. And then finally by the end of the year, it kind of got squared away. And then this year, you got this one kid who's ruining everything.
Well, ruining everything. I don't want to give that impression. But it's definitely causing a lot more.
A high stress kid.
Yeah, plus still dealing with a lot of COVID stuff this year, especially at the beginning. It's kind of leveled out now.
Yeah.
It's not a big worry so much anymore, but beginning of the year it was, and a lot of kids out. And yeah, it has been a stressful 3 years at work, but this past week was exceptionally stressful for me.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of semi-sick on top of that. I've been fighting this cold for about a week. It's not COVID. I tested. And my body is just taking all of that and,
Yeah.
not making anything enjoyable for me at the moment. My face is all breaking out and it's just all kinds of...
I think it is largely stress, though. I will say it's probably largely stress.
It's stress on top of fighting off whatever I'm fighting off.
Yeah.
Not successfully. The change in the weather, like this cold days and then warmer days and then colder days and then rain, is like messing with my arthritis really bad.
Yeah, temperature drops, temperatures. Like this week it was 22 and 87 all in one week. I'm not even kidding. It's crazy.
Yeah, so my knee is hard to sleep at night because it hurts all the time. It's got into this point where it's like, it's not so bad during the day. I know it kind of is. But like at night when I bend it, it just feels tight and painful no matter what I do. So, that is...
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But I have 4.5 days of work and then I'm off for a week. And that'll be...
The kids getting off early on Friday?
Kids leave early on Friday and the staff can work remotely after the kids leave.
Oh,
so
nice.
I can leave and then come home and finish work.
Are you gonna drive yourself? You're gonna get mom to pick you up?
I don't know. I haven't decided. I work one day at a time.
There you go. Yeah.
Haven't decided. I can't plan too far ahead. If I just remember to bring my badge to work tomorrow, it'll be all good.
You forgot your badge like 3 times.
I know.
That's how stressful it is. And her forgetting her badge is the biggest pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, it's not it's a pain in the ass for me.
Yeah.
Because I get to work early and generally there's not many people there that can let me in. But whatever. That's all just normal BS. So we got to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
When we were kind of coming up with ideas for what to talk about, we can't not address. And the whole nation's talked about it. I really feel like there's nothing more anybody can say. It's all been said, but we haven't said it yet.
Yeah. It's unbelievable that Coda, a streaming service, won Best Picture of the Year at the Oscars. Can you believe that? Unbelievable thing happened at the Oscars? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right?
A streaming service.
Yeah.
It never went to theaters.
Nope.
Oh.
It was on Apple TV Plus. That's aside from the thing that obviously we're going to talk about.
I didn't know that because someone else's news just overshadowed everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
you never would have known. Had the incident not happened, would you have even known? Because I wouldn't have known.
I mean, they might have had more room on the news to report out who was actually winning awards, and I might have. I don't watch movies I haven't.
Last year?
I have no clue because
yeah.
I'm going to talk about this later today. I'm going to talk about this later in the episode, but I'm not a moviegoer.
Yeah.
So I don't pay close attention to that stuff anymore.
No one does. No one ever. I mean, people used to watch the Oscars because it was just a cool thing to do.
Well, it used to be movies you've seen.
And it used to be movies you've seen.
And then it got super artsy, like all these independent artsy films that no one really ever saw.
Yeah, no.
That's pretty much when I stopped watching it, because I just didn't.
The heyday for the Oscars was the 90s, when Tom Hanks was just walking up there every other.
Or when Billy Crystal was hosting them.
Yeah. That shit is gone. They're never going to get that back. But anyway, back to the real deal, the meat of the incident. We all saw it. If you hadn't seen it, there's no way there's 30 of you that have watched this show. All 30 of you have seen the footage. There's no way you haven't seen it. The Will Smith smacking the shit out of Chris Rock. We all saw it.
And then to like read people's and talk to people. And it was like, are you Team Chris or Team Will? And I'm like, do you have to choose is there any other team? Like, is there someone out there defending Will Smith? And yes.
There's tons of people. They're like, oh, he never should have made fun of the woman's hair. First of all, I can't say with any certainty that Chris Rock would have known she had alopecia. Like, who would... She made it real known on Instagram. Who the fuck follows Jada Smith on Instagram? Do you follow Jada Smith on Instagram? I don't. I didn't know. And then, when people in the news are like, well, she's made it very public on Instagram. So what?
But if she made it public, and I don't follow Jada Smith, I did watch the Red Table Talks a few times, but I just really wasn't. It's not my cup of tea. She seemed very comfortable with it. Like, I don't care what anybody says. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to shave my head. I'm going to be proud of it. Even if Chris Rock knew, he probably felt like she was comfortable enough with it to take a slight jab. His joke wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't. You'd think that Ricky Gervais would have come out with something way worse than that. You know? That's why Ricky Gervais is not invited to those things anymore, because he went up there and did some raw comedy and was hilarious and didn't hold anything back from anybody. And they said, nope, you're not coming back. Everybody hates you. All right, well, thanks for the money.
Someone said they were lucky it wasn't Gervais, because the next 2 hours would have been Jada Pinkett Smith jokes. I found it to be an incredibly just sad situation, and I instantly lost respect for Will Smith that I had. Always thought of him as a positive, and in that one instant, I was like, I've just lost every bit of respect I had for him as a person.
He was West Philadelphia, not Bel Air.
Who does that? And then, not only do you do that, you continue to stay there, you win Best Actor and get a standing ovation and applause, and you just assaulted somebody on stage in front of...
And that's where the hypocrisy comes in, because let me tell you something. There was probably a half dozen people in there that could have pulled that off, like that, where they were smacking somebody in the face on camera, goes back to their seat, sits down, and don't have to worry about shit for the rest of the night. That was, and the three of them embraced each other off to the side during the commercial break. That's Smith, Denzel, and
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. We talked about who else had that kind of stroke, because anybody else would have got tackled on stage and drug off.
I don't know about that on stage, but he definitely would have been escorted out.
Yeah, they'd have been gone. Tom Hanks would have went up there. First of all, Tom Hanks went up there and smacked the shit out of Chris Rock.
If Tom Hanks did that? People would still think it was a joke.
People would still be shitting on themselves. They'd think about it and immediately shit on themselves.
Plus, I would imagine Tom Hanks can't deliver the kind of punch that Will Smith
Will Smith is cut. Will Smith's over, I think he's like 53, and he's still cut. The dude's fit.
I mean, from pictures I've seen during the pandemic, he's lost some of his physicality.
Yeah.
But I imagine people like him who have teams that can get him back into shape probably do.
Pretty quickly, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was kind of disgusted by the whole thing.
Yeah.
As a teacher who truly believes, I grew up with jokes being thrown my way.
Yeah.
At my expense. I lived it since I was probably in kindergarten. And as a person who's learned that their words, just let it go, let it roll off your back, let it define you. It defines me anyway, but it's a joke.
Yeah.
They are words someone's saying to you, and if you can't, and everybody's like, oh, he came to his wife's defense. Well, what does that say? That women need that knight in shining armor to step up and beat the shit out of somebody for making a joke? No. No. If I'd have been sitting at the Oscars and someone on the stage had made a joke about me and Kevin reacted that way, I'd have been mortified and pissed off at him for doing that, because it does nothing but make you look weaker.
Mm-hmm.
It accomplished nothing except possibly making him feel better in that moment. But it didn't last. I'm sure he's regretting it now.
A little bit.
But if you've got problems, if you're going through problems in your life, whatever, you just don't respond by physically attacking a person.
Yeah.
How many times have I told my kids, just ignore them, walk away, find someone else to be with. Don't be the aggressive person. If it had been in self-defense, I'd have been 100%. But I just thought it was disgusting.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. There's no excuse.
All
and
right,
he didn't need
right.
to defend his wife that way.
No.
She doesn't need to be defended.
No, not at all.
And alopecia, my heart goes out to her for dealing with that. It's not life-threatening. It's not painful. you can wear a wig. Lots of people do it. If the vanity part of you is that bad, which clearly it isn't because she shaved her head. And she's in public with her head shaved. Rather than wear
and
a
rocking
wig.
it. I mean,
And she looks gorgeous. And
Yeah.
she knows it. So really, it wasn't that bad of a joke.
No, not at all.
You got to give more credit to her. So, I don't know.
But I think a lot of that too is just Will Smith is kind of broken. Because they apparently, and I didn't know this beforehand, but apparently they're in some sort of open marriage where she's, fucking around with other guys and he's kind of letting it happen. I'm sorry. I'm all for people living the way they want to live, but obviously, he's not really that into it.
Obviously, it's causing a problem for him.
Yeah. He might say, "Oh, I've agreed to it." Yeah, you've agreed to it, but obviously it bothers you, and you're not handling it like. And I guess there's folks out there that are all into it. Like, yeah, my woman can do whatever she wants, and I can do whatever I want. No, I'm not into that.
Here's my question with that.
Mm-hmm.
Why get married then? Like, if you want to have
A lot of people
an
don't get
open
married.
marriage, and you want to have relationships with other people outside of your marriage, why are you married?
For some people, it's the legalities of it. If you get hurt or whatever and you're in the hospital, it's easy for that person to say, I'm this person's husband, I'm this person's wife. Their medical decisions are pretty much automatically mine.
I don't think
that kind of thing.
I mean, do people really think about that? I want to live my life in this certain way, but in case I ever get in an accident, I want somebody to be able... You can name a power of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
You can put an emergency contact in your
phone.
Right. I don't know. I don't get it. It can't be healthy.
Not for him, anyway. I'm sure there's some people out there that can pull it off without it being a problem. I mean, they probably people that are, obviously raised different,
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there's always people out there that live a life that you can't understand. And you know what? You have at it. I'm not saying you shouldn't. If you can make that work for you, I've always said it. People are like, how can you be for bigamy and all that? It's like, as long as everybody's on board, I don't have a problem with it. It doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't hurt me.
The problem with that is a lot of, I guess, women who are in those situations are being manipulated into those situations. I mean, they're probably not the most, independent of people, or
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. Who am I to say? It just feels wrong to me. If you want to mess around with a lot of people, just don't get married.
Yeah.
Don't make the commitment to a person and then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. So I have to hand it to Chris Rock.
Oh, he was a total pro.
I thought he handled himself very professionally. Even still hasn't. I mean, he refused to press charges. He didn't want to press the fact that they asked Will to leave and he wouldn't. And apparently Chris Rock was like, I just don't want to make this a bigger thing than it is. I'm gonna go ahead and go. But
well, for that, I think that's the long game. Because here's the thing, Chris
all
Rock.
his shows are selling out now.
Yeah, Chris Rock knows the game. He knows the game. He's been in the game forever. So he understands that if he presses charges on Will Smith, his career is over. Because Will Smith, Chris Rock is right here. He's up there. But Will Smith is way the fuck up here. He knows how the hierarchy works. Chris Rock walks on stage and smacks the shit out of anybody. He's getting pulled off stage. And in LA, he's probably getting shot. But fucking Will Smith walks up and sits down and doesn't get, maybe doesn't even get asked to leave. Or if he does, he says, fuck you guys, I'm waiting to pick up my reward and then I'm out and go party with everybody. That's where he understands that. He also knows that if he sues the Oscars for putting him in an unsafe work environment, he will 100% win that suit and win millions and millions of dollars.
That I don't.
But he doesn't work ever again.
Here's the thing: Chris Rock is still interested in making money.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. He's playing
Will
the long
Smith
game.
has probably figured he can live off the money he's made.
Absolutely.
So all of Chris Rock's shows are selling out. He knows people are going to want to come hear him crack jokes about it.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's playing the long game because if he sues the Oscars,
but to be that aware in the moment.
Oh yeah, it's
not
amazing.
to like. I think he was just stunned.
I think he was stunned, and I think, but when they pulled him off stage, he's probably got people, handlers, what do they call them, agents and whatnot, and they talk to him, and it's like you could sue, and you could get probably millions of dollars off of suing the Oscars, and he would never work again, and that would be the end of his career.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll do that.
That's what I'm saying. He's smart. Chris Rock is not some dumbass who's rolled off the turnip truck. He's been in the game since his early 20s. He started off high too. He started off
the instinct of fighting back.
Yeah.
He stood with his hands behind his back the rest of the time. Like,
I'm sure he was shaking, wanting to beat the shit out of Will Smith. But again, he knows that he's right here, and Will Smith's way the fuck up here.
Will Smith had that whole walk up there to think about what he was going to do.
Yeah.
And then he sauntered away like.
I think Chris Rock thought he was going to do a bit, like he was going to be funny about it.
Everyone did.
And then, because I follow a couple people on TikTok, a guy named Straw Hat Goofy, who was there. He does a lot of movie stuff on his TikTok channel. He's actually, started making money doing it. And he said that he was in the room, and at first they thought, was this a bit? Is this what's going on? And then they heard him yelling about, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And they were like, oh. And then he yelled it again. He said he was in the second rafter up and heard it clear as day from Will Smith with no mic, just screaming it off the top of his lungs. And that whole room was silent.
Class act. So anyway, of course, that's been in the news.
Yeah. Every day. Every day, aspect
that's that one still picture over and over and over ad nauseum.
But really, that's the first time anybody's talked about the Oscars in as long as I remember. No one's talked about the Oscars.
Well, the last big faux pas when they announced the wrong winner.
Well, that was hilarious. But by the way, that was totally Warren Beatty's fault. That fucking asshole hands it off to. No, he is. He sees there's a problem with it. He knows there's a problem with it. He hands it to Faye Dunaway, who's old and
how does he know who the winner is, though?
He knows that because it was basically the girl's name that won the last award, and he realized, no, this isn't the right card. And he hands it to Faye Dunaway, who's not with it. I'm sorry, Miss Dunaway, but you're not with it. She reads, the name of the movie because it's the best movie category, and then all hell breaks loose.
Well, I can't blame either one of them for that.
I would blame Warren Beatty.
I would blame the person who gave him the wrong card.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to give anybody else a free pass. But Warren Beatty looked at it and knew there was a problem. And instead of saying, folks, I think you gave me the wrong card.
But how would he know who the winner is before he opened the card?
Because he opened the card. The card was from the last award that was given, which was Best Actress. And it was Emma Stone for the movie that she was in. Oh. And he read Emma Stone and the name of the movie was under it, and he realized, wait a minute, I think this is the last thing.
Because why would it say Emma Stone?
Right.
Okay.
So he handed it to Faye Dunaway, who's just not with it.
Well, I mean, he handed her a card and she read it.
Yeah.
That's what they get paid to do. Don't get paid to think, they just get paid to read lines.
I guess.
So anyway, yeah, that's that big fun stuff. So I wanted to ask you about this. We had this conversation last night. Mom and Dad were watching American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
And it came up, you said that there was an age limit on American Idol. And I couldn't believe that.
16 to, and I thought at the time it was 26, but it ended up being 29.
Why? That's my thing. Like, I realize, like, I'm too old to ever be on American Idol. Not that I ever would have, but why?
I think when they originally started the show, the idea was that they were trying to find young, raw talent. And then that way they could mold that young, raw talent. And it worked the first time.
So you can't do that with a 31-year-old?
No.
Why?
It's not young and raw.
Which is 2 years older than 29. 31 is young.
The idea, I guess, at the time was they wanted to get somebody who was young that they could mold, and that worked because they had the first thing out of the gate was Kelly Clarkson, who still is the biggest thing to come out of American Idol.
Probably Carrie Underwood. I bet you Carrie Underwood's made more money than Kelly Clarkson.
I would have to Alexa that shit, but who's singing along with Carrie Underwood versus Kelly Clarkson? Start singing.
You
Since
talk
You've
to
Been
some
Gone,
country music fans.
Well,
plus Carrie Underwood doesn't even look like Carrie Underwood anymore.
Yeah.
She's completely rebuilt herself.
I think she's cute.
I just don't understand, but I don't understand if you have talent, what's the difference your age?
Well, that's where Simon Cowell, who's like started the first show, he realized that, talent is different than American Idol. So they came up with the Got Talent, the America's Got Talent, Britain Got Talent, and there is no age limit on those.
So in order to be an American Idol, you have to be under 30.
Yeah. This isn't my idea. I'm just saying that was their original thought.
So once you turn 30, are you no longer, look at Keith Richards. Wouldn't you say he's an idol in the music industry?
Oh, absolutely. He's a god in the music industry.
Okay, so, I mean...
But he was a god when he was in his early 20s when the Rolling Stones started.
Can you think of any musical act that took off after they were in their 30s? No, I mean, this is what I need to find out.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google. Let's see.
I actually started... Vern Gosselin, who is a...
I don't know who that is. He's not an...
Yeah, he's not... But I'm just thinking that his career didn't take off until he was in his 40s. Set 'Em Up Joe was a song. It was redone by Chris Stapleton a few years ago. It's a good singer, Vern Gosselin. If you get a chance, he's dead now. So.
All right, 22 musicians who all found success after 30. Debbie Harry.
Don't know.
You don't know who Debbie Harry was, Kevin?
No, I don't know.
All right, Bill Withers.
Bill Withers, I know.
Sheryl Crow.
Really?
Rachel Platten.
Oh shit! The Supergirl song, the fight song. This is my fight song.
Is it? Well, Debbie Harry was from Blondie.
Oh, okay.
And then Bill Withers.
Bill Withers is a legend.
Was 32. Sheryl Crow was 32. She was a school teacher.
That surprises me.
Christine McVie.
I have no idea who that is.
She was in the... She married Fleetwood Mac's bassist.
Oh. She married into it, though.
No, she released... Rachel Platten, Fight Song. Very good. I'm impressed that you knew that. I love that. This is my song. Matt Nathanson.
Never heard of him.
He put out 7 albums before releasing his chart-topping indie hit Come On Get Higher.
Oh.
John Ondrasik.
Nope, can't say I've heard of him.
Of 5 for Fighting.
Oh.
Superman. It's Not Easy.
Yeah, 5 for Fighting I would have.
Okay, 2 Chainz. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Let's skip on.
Amanda Palmer. Indie rocker, cabaret. Butch Vig, Dan Wilson.
An ad popped up.
Chris Stapleton.
Ooh. 37. Wow.
American Idol needs to go to school. Because just because you are over 30 does not mean you are out of the...
Well, again, I think they
Andrea
realized that.
Bocelli, 38.
I don't know who that is.
It's an opera singer or something like that.
I think when they originally came out
Willie
with Idol,
Nelson.
Yeah, Willie Nelson was... Nelson,
more of an idol than Willie Nelson. I'm sorry.
Willie Nelson made a career out of songwriting, though. He wrote Crazy for Patsy Cline, which is on every jukebox in the world.
Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt was older.
40.
Yeah, 40, yeah.
Michael Fitzpatrick.
Don't know who that is.
I don't know either. Sia, 41.
Really?
Sia, who's been on American Frickin' Idol.
Yeah.
As a guest judge or something, I'm sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
who's brilliant, because I don't know if you know who she is.
You don't even know who she is because
she wears a wig that covers her face.
Sia.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you can't see her.
Yeah. But that's brilliant, because if you just want to go out and do whatever you want, you just take the wig off and you're free to do whatever you want without getting hassled by the fans.
Thelonious Monk, Sharon Jones, Leonard Cohen, Charles Bradley, Louis Armstrong, 64.
Wow.
So, I'm sorry, American Idol, you can suck it.
But America's Got Talent or any of the blah, blah, blah Got Talent, there's no age limit. And I personally like America's Got Talent over American Idol because for two reasons. One, the no age limit thing. That would actually was like, oh, that's cool. That's way better because, and they've had singers that were in their 30s, 40s come back and kill it. Like really just be awesome singers. But they also would do other acts, you know. They had, I remember, and it drives your dad crazy, but Bobby Badfingers, who was just snapping his fingers. I thought it was a great act, but I just thought it was such a novelty thing that, you know.
Yeah, well, I was kind of shocked by it.
Yeah.
That we would be allowed in this day and age, in these sensitive times, to allow that sort of ageism on mainstream popular television. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just because they're saying we want that young singer that we can mold, and that's what they do. They take these young singers.
That they can manipulate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's that too.
Get them while they're young and stupid.
Their favorite thing,
we can own the rest of their career.
I think their favorite thing is when they have somebody who's super talented, but actually doesn't win, because that gives them options.
Adam Lambert.
What's her name? The Sparks girl. She didn't win. Jordan Sparks.
Oh, did she go on to being big time?
Big time.
I know there was oh gosh, he's a rocker now.
Daughtry?
Mm-hmm.
I remember the night he got kicked off and how pissed you were.
Well, both of the two final acts were named Chris.
Oh, that was great. We had a faux pas with our DVR. They were announcing.
Was they went a minute past time?
Yeah, they were getting ready to announce the winner. They're both named Chris, and old what's his name? Seacrest.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and the winner of American Idol is Chris. Boom.
And then it cut off because it hit the 10 o'clock time or whatever, and we were like, oh my god.
Trying to get back on the remote, and we come back and they're celebrating, but it's not obvious yet who the winner is. We're like, fuck.
That was pretty funny.
The funniest moment, there's two funniest moments on American Idol since we're going to talk about it. The funniest moment, they had this bit where they had Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., and Ben Stiller being the Pips while they did a video. It was a classic video of Gladys Nightingale singing, and then in the background where the Pips were doing their bit, they were doing the bit, and it was hilarious. If you had to YouTube it, it was fantastic.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. Look for it on YouTube. American Idol, fake Pips or whatever. I'm sure you'll find it. Anyway, and then the second thing was it was also Jack Black. It's Scotty McCready who wins. He goes down and he starts hugging his family. There's like 10 people in the front row. He's just hugging while he's singing. And next to this guy who looks like one of the people from the Oak Ridge Boys, the guy with the beard on the Oak Ridge Boys, gives him a hug. Jack Black puts his hands out like he's waiting for a hug. Scotty McCready turns and walks away. Jack Black's face is like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you just Google American Idol Ben Stiller, you'll find it.
Oh my god.
Both of those were really
it was
funny
really the funniest thing.
So what did you have? What did you want to talk about?
A couple things. One, adjusting to my new schedule has been difficult. One, dinner. Because I generally earlier when I got off at 4 o'clock, I'd cook dinner.
He's the cook, and
no one else is really into it. So it makes the age-old question difficult. And not only that, my dinner hour changes on the regular.
I hate it.
So
it's at 5:15, and I feel like I just get home from work and we're having dinner.
Yeah, we can't do that.
It's really strange.
So it's an adjustment. So that, but still driving you to work. This week's was a little bit more challenging too because somehow or another, Mike's back windshield got busted.
You bring it in anyway.
Yeah.
You're slick.
I don't know. We don't know how it happened, but his windshield got busted. So the problem that we ran into is that, Mike didn't want to drive it with no back windshield. Didn't want to put plastic on it because it looked shitty. So we did find a cover. You can get a cover for your car for like under $40, which is awesome.
All right.
What are we at?
She's just growling because I think she hears Grandma and Grandpa.
Oh.
Sorry, folks. Our dog is under the table. You know what she's growling at?
Oh my God! All right, hold on.
wait.
You're gonna hear her go crazy.
Don't do that
she's
because
gonna go crazy, but then she'll stop.
Oh gosh. Get ready, folks. Yeah. That was leaning up against the chair. She hates it. She'll literally sit there and growl at it. She's been growling at it all morning. It's okay, Tilly. It's not hurting us anymore. It's all gone. Oh, she's very upset because she knows it's up here with me. It's okay. It's not hurting me. Oh, Tilly. I thought she was... Ouch. Honey, I'm fine. I'm fine. Here, do you want to come up? You come up here.
She's going to come up here. I need to move it.
No, you don't. Leave it there. She won't. She'll be fine. Come on. You can come up on the chair. Come on. That's a good girl. Okay. Sit down, be a good girl. All right. Sit down, be good. You want to come say hi? You want to come say hi to the people? You haven't said hi to the people in a long time. Yeah. Come here. Come say hi. Oh. So Mike's windshield.
Oh, yeah. So, but it was going to take a week for them to put the new one in. He didn't want to drive it, so we had to take him to work and pick him up. And that just threw a monkey wrench in our week. So, adjusting to the new schedule has been a challenge. So, leaving a comment, something that's easy, that not picking up or anything, not, because we've done the pizza delivery and Chinese. But something that's a quick and easy, that recipe or a go-to, just help us out, folks. We need some advice.
That's the microphone, Tilly.
Yeah.
We should take Sundays to meal prep.
Yeah, we should.
But we don't.
Well, that brings up another thing I wanted to talk about, and that's the inflation, which I've been going to the grocery store, and it's visibly a problem now. Not only is it hard to find stuff, because I'll go in, there's shelves that are completely missing things. Believe it or not, one of the more difficult things to find is half and half for the coffee.
Really?
Yeah, they never have the big ones. They just have the smaller ones, which ends up you spending more because you're buying more of the smaller ones.
Wow.
It's a pain in the ass. But they never have any of the bigger ones. Everything's gone up. Trying to find steak, flank steak, that's difficult. It used to be you can get 2 big flank steaks for just over $20, $25.
No.
Now it's $17 a piece. That shit, it's crazy. For one, $17 for one. Yeah.
She's staring at the grabby. Listen to it. It's okay, Tilly. It's not going to hurt
stand
you.
on the table. She's standing.
Oh, you want to say hi?
Anyway, so it's becoming more and more difficult for this, and the inflation is a real problem. See, Tilly doesn't like it. Tilly hates inflation.
This is how she talks to the grabby all the time. Don't do that. Just don't touch it.
And she's looking at the grabby end of it too, not the handle or anything.
Ow! You just smacked me in the face with your tail. Okay, Tilly. It's the Tilly show. Oh, abrupt ending there.
Yeah.
Tilly went so crazy that I ended up stopping our video feed. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Tilly apologizes, but she's still very upset that we have the little grabby tool here. Oh, yeah, she saw me touch it. Not a good idea to bring Tilly. Chaos ensues when Tilly is involved in our show. Yeah. And now Mommy has dog hair all over her. You coming back? You're coming back? Okay. All right. Just be a nice girl, please. So, yeah, getting used to a new schedule is a thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
What are you bringing?
What am I bringing?
Yep.
Oh, I wanted to talk about how the pandemic has killed TV for me. Because
you'd rather watch TikTok than any TV show.
I would, and even shows that I used to really love to watch, like Survivor, I'm half tuned in. The Walking Dead, I visited the town The Walking Dead is filmed in twice and drove around and looked at the site. I mean, I was a hardcore Walking Dead fan. And now they just finished taping their last episode. I could care less.
We're a season and a half behind.
I mean, I just don't care about it anymore. We were watching This Is Us. Pandemic hit, and I just don't care about it anymore. There was nothing new on TV for so long that I just got so accustomed to not giving a shit about it. And so now I can't even get into new shows.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to watch Reacher. I'm a huge fan of the books.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like Tom Cruise's interpretation of Jack Reacher. He was definitely the wrong
He's a foot and a half shorter
cast.
than the character.
It was not good casting. And the new Reacher is definitely more physically the type. I just can't get into the commitment of watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm relegated now to.
It was good.
I just do TikTok and Facebook and Twitter, things that keep my attention for short periods of time.
Yeah.
And of course, last night, the Impractical Jokers came back.
Finally.
Without Joe, so that felt weird only because Joe wasn't there.
Well,
but I quickly kind of got over it. They changed the format somewhat. But I think about it, the Impractical Jokers continued to put new stuff out during the pandemic. They just figured out how to do it. They did Dinner Party, and then they quickly figured out how they could still do new episodes. So it wasn't like you went a year and a half without seeing anything new. And last night I was like, oh, chuckling, but the end was so funny.
Yeah.
So it was good to have them back. They don't come back now again until June. And we did watch the end of the basketball game last night. I could care less about that, but we did.
I thought it was kind of. I'm not a big basketball guy. It's too much running. It's just exhausting watching those kids run back and forth. But I get the significance of the game. Like apparently it's two rival teams, and then there was this Coach K guy who's apparently had a historic career. It was his last game, and then they lost. I've seen a couple people comment on Facebook about the game. Like a guy I really didn't know was into basketball, a guy named Brian. He was like, fuck you, Coach K. Sulk on your last game. Crazy shit like that. I was like, all right, well.
I don't know. I don't follow basketball, but the back and forth. Mm-hmm. Being ahead by one, then the other one ahead, then the other one ahead, then the other one ahead. And the last, I don't know, we watched the last maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah. That was interesting because apparently, I guess they said overturns or lead changes.
Lead changes.
That's apparently doesn't happen generally as often as it did in that game. There was like 20 lead changes, and that was interesting. All right, but
We didn't have a horse in the race, but I always root for the underdog, so
Yeah.
it was nice to see them win. I was kind of happy with it.
Yeah.
Um,
And to watch those people walk off the Duke team, just so like depressive. Like somebody's gonna have to talk to those boys. They're but some of them might be turning to serious alcoholics or whatever. So
I don't know.
oh.
She's just sitting here protecting me. That's what this is.
Yeah,
She's in protective mode.
she's a good girl.
I don't know why she gets so upset. Anything with a stick, anything that's on a stick or a pole, a broom,
The vacuum
the
cleaner. She
vacuum.
hates the vacuum cleaner.
Dad's canes for a little while, although she's gotten over that. The grabbies. We got this new dusting thing that's on a, so you can dust like your walls and whatever. We had it leaning, and she'd growl at it every time she walked by, and I don't know, she'll sometimes go into the bathroom. We have a, laundry room, bathroom off our kitchen, and it's got the broom and all in it, and she'll just stand there and growl at the broom the whole time you're in there. It's just...
The interesting thing about that is like the way the pipe lays, it kind of blocks the entranceway for the poles. So she's all right, kind of with it being locked in there because she feels like it's locked in there. she's funny.
She's very protective.
Yeah.
Especially over Mommy. Right, Tilly?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's such a good girl. Alright, so to finish out our first little segment here, I want to send a very happy birthday wish out to my sister Jennifer. She is 45 today, I believe. Hope she's okay with me putting that right out there.
She doesn't watch the show. She doesn't.
That's true, she doesn't watch.
Your sister does not watch our show.
But anyway, for those of you who do, if you know my sister, today's her birthday. She has been home this week taking care of Paul, who had some surgery to remove a tumor off the back of his head, and that could have gone very seriously, but thankfully everything turned out good.
Yeah, they walked into it with a lot of question marks on, things could have gone really bad, but they didn't. So
yeah, best case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, it was really,
so it was good.
You go into those thinking, well, a lot of this can go wrong, or even if just the situation being what it is, it could be, but no, it was all fine. It was great.
Yeah. So he's recovering, and I'm sure she's doing a great job of taking care of him, because that's what she does.
Mm-hmm.
So happy birthday, Jen. I know you're not watching, but just in case you are, happy birthday. And I will talk to you later on today. And I don't know what we're going to do for our second segment today.
Let's bust out the what you call it?
Kevin loves the old table topics, so
Yeah, dude.
we might pull out some table topics. What do you think, Tilly?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so
Back
we'll
in a
be
minute.
back in a little bit.
And we're back, and we're gonna do table topics. Therapy edition.
DIY therapy.
DUI therapy.
Not DUI therapy.
DUI.
DIY therapy.
Yeah. That's how often I do shit for
DUI
myself.
therapy is completely different. That's
I-
court order.
I haven't done that in a long time. Yeah. All right. If you started hearing a voice in your head, in what accent would you like it to speak?
Probably just a voice in my... I wouldn't want it to have an accent necessarily.
Yeah.
I think just standard, whatever accent I speak in.
Yeah. I think if you think about it, it's kind of like what I guess it's one of two things: either a digital assistant like an Alexa, but
No, I wouldn't want that.
Like
I want
with
a human voice.
yeah, like Tony Stark's Jarvis from the movies, not from the comic books. Comic books, he was an actual dude. It was a butler, old guy, great character. Would you, if you had to have a digital assistant like that, would you want it to have an accent?
I thought this was if you
Yeah, no,
started
I'm
hearing
modifying
a
it
voice.
a little bit.
No, I would want it to speak whatever I'm accustomed to normally hearing.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Because I think the accent would annoy me after a while.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
The digital assistant thing, I always thought like Stuart Varney would have the best, like because he's British.
That's true. You would want some hot Australian accent, some hot chick with an Australian accent or
No.
something. No.
Not for my digital assistant. Believe it or not, I'd rather it be an old guy, because it seems like it's much more reliable information coming from an old guy. I don't know why. I just, if you're gonna hear
there are a lot of unreliable old guys out there.
True enough.
A lot of them work for the government.
Yeah, absolutely. No argument for me on that.
Okay. Would being famous make you happier?
No. The slap thing. You think those guys are happy right now?
What you're famous for, though.
Yeah, I guess so.
Would you want? I mean, we're doing a video podcast.
Yeah, we're not famous.
That you want people to watch.
Oh, it'd be great. It'd be great if they did, but
would you not want to be famous for it?
And
of course, I guess the question is, would it make you a happier person?
Yeah, I think if it got to a point where we could do this and not do our jobs, then that would be great. But
I'm not creative enough for that. I've seen some of those couples that are content creators.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not that creative.
Yeah, but
the one guy, the Team Balmert,
yeah,
on Facebook, where he did the thing with the knife between his legs and he was trying to swipe off the poker chips. That was hilarious.
But yeah.
But Kevin won't hit me in the face with a tortilla, so we got nowhere to go.
Yeah. So even if this took off, right now we got a consistent 30 people that watch. And we appreciate you, don't get me wrong. But even if there was more, it'd have to be a tremendous amount of people for us to quit our jobs to be able to do this full time.
Now, if famous comes with being financially stable, then probably yes, I would be happier.
But again, you look at, you could still do dumb shit. You look at the slap earlier. We were talking about it earlier. Do you think Will Smith is happy with life right now? He's got real problems.
The other part of being famous, you're right, is having to listen to everybody's opinion of you.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Unless you've got the presence of mind to say, I don't give a fuck about what those people think.
Can I interject just one little thing here?
Mm-hmm.
That is a very stark difference between me and you?
What's that?
So Kevin got out the Table Topics game from that little gold box right there, and he didn't put the lid on the right way. Thank you. Things I noticed that Kevin doesn't even pick up on.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Where would you be happiest to live?
Wow.
And just for argument, we'll say, here is great and everything. We love it here.
I can't pick here.
Yeah, I'm saying you have to pick somewhere else. If you
I have to
live
pick somewhere else.
I'll even say Virginia Beach is out.
I have two places that I would probably be okay in.
Okay.
Somewhere in the Shenandoah Valley.
Okay.
Would be one of them. And anywhere picturesque in Tennessee would be the other one.
We are 100% in sync on that.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I love Tennessee. There's no part of Tennessee that we've been to that I haven't been.
No, that's right. I didn't like Memphis.
You didn't like Memphis?
Mm-mm.
The problem with Memphis is it was freaking balls hot.
It just felt, and maybe because it's an older city, then it just felt old and grimy.
Mm.
For the little bit I saw of it, it's not my favorite place in Tennessee. I liked Chattanooga. Okay, although Chattanooga was kind of slower paced. Nashville, I had a blast.
Nashville, I love Nashville.
But I think if I was going to live there, I'd want to be on the hills somewhere, or...
I want us to go to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg,
yeah. Just because I think, I've been to Pigeon Forge. Pigeon Forge I love.
Mm-hmm.
But, I haven't been to Gatlinsville or
Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. I really like Tennessee a lot.
Yeah.
Of the few places I've traveled to in my life, probably one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a simple person, so what can I say? Same for you, Tennessee?
Yep. Like I said, we were 100%.
What would you like to be hypnotized for?
I don't know if I can be, but if I was, I don't know. Being able to pick up on shit like that? I don't know.
Oh my god.
I guess. I don't know. What about you?
Weight loss. I mean, hands down. Weight loss. And
we both need to get back on track, but I still, and I think we've talked about on the show.
Chili hair everywhere.
Since my mom died, I got off the wagon, and it's been tough to get back up on the wagon. I got to stop doing the carbs, and I got to get to
What did we have for breakfast this morning?
Yeah.
Bagels. Total carb. I don't know. I would definitely, if I was going to be hypnotized, I don't really know that it works. But a weight loss would be what I go for.
Yeah. All right. When you walk into a room, do you prefer to be noticed or fly under the radar?
Fly under the radar.
Yeah.
As much as, so much so that I probably won't walk into the room. That's where I am in life right now.
Yeah. It doesn't matter to me at all. I could care less.
No.
Couldn't care less.
No. That was an easy question for
you.
What song immediately makes you happy?
Ooh. Can't think of any one song. Just, I guess it depends. I guess one from Bowling for Soup, Love and Beer. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I've said this before. For me, it's the Michael Tulcher. I just feel happier when I'm listening to that. I don't listen to it often, and maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, you need to blast out some Tulcher and cake.
Yeah.
All right, next. Have you ever acted on anything from a dream?
Have I ever acted on anything? Like that time I punched you in the face when you tried to wake me up? That wasn't a dream.
That wasn't a dream. You don't dream of hitting me in the face.
No. I remember having a dream that something happened to the dog, and I did have to get up and check on the dog. This was a long time ago. Yes, I'll say yes, because I'm pretty sure that I have had a dream where something horrible happened to the dog, or something horrible happened to you, and I woke up, and then I had to check to make sure you were okay. So,
Okay.
I guess if that's what that means, then yes.
Yeah, I got nothing. I usually dream about weird scenarios or superpowers, so I can't act on any of those. Like recently, I had a dream where I had pitched the idea of Ryan Reynolds. I pitched it through Twitter to Ryan Reynolds. I was like, you need to do a not a remake, but like a sequel to Cannonball Run, where you're J.J. McClure, Burt Reynolds' kid, and you figure I'm leading this boring life, but here's my father had this awesome career. Maybe I'll just they're doing a Cannonball Run. Let me do that just for Dad's honor or whatever. And then you just have cars filled with celebrities, just like the original Cannonball. Great stuff. But
is Burt Reynolds still alive?
no, he's dead.
Okay.
He died in 2000.
2000?
Mm-hmm.
He died.
No, 2020. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say 23 years ago.
Yeah. No, he died in 2020.
Wow, Michael's got the edger.
Which I wish he wouldn't, because I got the guy coming out Tuesday.
Really, Kevin?
Yeah. Well.
Well, this is how it works. We agree to pay someone to come and do the yard, and then Mike goes and does the yard.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you. Anyway, so that was my idea that I'd pitch it to Ryan Reynolds. I did not pitch it to Ryan Reynolds, and I'm pretty sure that that's never going to happen. I wish it would, though. Think about it. Like they'd have a car with the Rock and Kevin Hart. I'd watch that movie. Wouldn't you? Cannonball Run? No one. No one. Anybody out there? Leave in the comments who you'd want to see in the car in a revival of the Cannonball Run. Or if you haven't ever seen the movie, then Jesus Christ.
I've never seen it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
To go back to the yard thing though for a second,
Mm-hmm.
Can you get in touch with the guy and ask him to come
Later? Yeah.
like flip-flop the weeks or something. He comes every other week.
Yeah, he's coming on the 4th. I'll have to look in my text.
That's Monday.
Fuck.
Can you text him and say, hey, we've had a miscommunication in our, can we flip it to next week?
Push it back. Yeah, we can do that.
Sorry. Time out, folks. We got some
real
family
life
drama. So we're going to talk about this in the next week's episode.
Yeah. We'll also have guest starring the Grabbies, so there'll be more drama with that too. All right, moving on.
What was the question again? Oh, the dream thing. Yeah. All right. Which Oprah expressions have you adopted?
None.
I sometimes will make the joke, you get COVID, and you get COVID, and you get COVID.
Yeah.
I don't know any other Oprah expressions. What are some?
I give less than a shit about anything that Oprah's done.
I thought there's dog hair everywhere. Oprah expressions. OPRAH expressions. Let's see. I forgot to spell expressions right. Okay, here we go. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Never said it. You can have it all. No. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. The true forgiveness is when you can say thank you for that experience. Yeah. No, I've never.
Sounds like sap bullshit to me.
Yeah. I often find that Oprah is a little bit too deep for me.
Yeah. You know, the one thing I remember about Oprah is that she went on, they always say, well, she came from nothing and blah, blah, blah. But then one year she went on a road trip with her friend Gayle King, and she had zero idea how to pump gas.
I got a whole new appreciation for that. Because when I went on my trip to Myrtle Beach and I had to pump the gas, I did not know how to use the gas pump.
And to her credit, because we stopped at the same gas station the next week on the way down. And I'm looking at it, and there was this one gas station, they had 3 handles, which isn't like the traditional 3 handles they used to do. They had one that was regular, one that, and they weren't marked. They weren't obviously
marked. One was like fuel,
like the
flex fuel.
Flex fuel that didn't have the ethanol in it, which.
And can you put that in your car? I don't know if you can or not.
Yeah.
Like it just, yeah.
They say the ethanol actually damages your car.
Okay, then why don't they just go to flex fuel for everybody?
Because the corn industry lobbies Congress.
Okay.
I'm not lying to you.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
And then the of course diesel, but I was like, well, just don't use the green one because that's diesel. No, they didn't have it colored like that. They had them colored, but none of them. It wasn't green for diesel. I was like, what the? I was sitting there looking. I was like, what the fuck are they doing here?
I had to put my card in and out. I left my card in for too long. Then I didn't get the right. I mean, I literally was like, I told my friend I have a whole new appreciation for Oprah not being able to pump her own gas. Yeah. I get it because Kevin's been pumping the gas for as long as I can remember.
And it's just this one gas station on the way down to Myrtle Beach off of I-40. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, how do these people not get sued? Because sooner or later somebody's... And they didn't even have the like with diesel, they generally, the hose is bigger, so you can't fit it in standard cars.
Well, that was how I figured out not to use that nozzle.
Okay.
It wouldn't fit in my car.
I'm
like, this can't be right.
It was crazy.
It's really bad. Really bad. All right, next question.
All right, my last
Sorry,
one.
Oprah, you're too deep. You're too deep into your soul. I'm more of a surface person.
How often do you worry about money? This is tough.
I've gone maybe 5 minutes. And we talked about gas. I started worrying about money.
Yeah.
I worry about money all the time.
I mean, I talked about it earlier with the inflation. Everything's going up. You know, a lot of times we judge a meal that we do cook. Like last night we did something new. You found
I found a recipe on Facebook. It did not turn out like I thought it would, but it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. Yeah. But we decided to double it because we always figured, well, we'll need more.
We need to stop doing that.
We need to stop doing that, yeah. But basically, it was 2 boxes of stovetop stuffing, 4 chicken breasts, and a couple of cans of
cream of celery soup and cream of mushroom soup, and Kevin bought cream of chicken soup.
Yeah.
which that might have been the reason why. And then chicken broth.
Chicken broth.
You just make a casserole.
Yeah.
So chicken and stuffing casserole.
So, you know, how much you reckon that would be, right? Because I judge a meal based off of, you know, how much, if I go to the store and buy the ingredients for that meal, if it's X amount of dollars, it's like, this is a good meal because it's economical. It was $60.
It's because of the chicken.
It's because of the chicken. Because all the meat has gone crazy high.
And we only bought 4 chicken breasts.
Yeah.
You didn't buy anything other than 2 cans of soup.
4
You bought
cans
4
of
cans of soup, 2 boxes of stuffing, 2 things of
Now
broth.
those soups were traditionally, like, the last time I bought cream of blah 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 soup, it was like 58 cents a can.
Did you buy the ones
It was
that were on sale?
$1.20, yeah. And it was like $1.24.
You could have bought the off-brand. It probably would have been cheaper. That's
But I
why you
didn't
go to
see any of the
Walmart.
off-brand.
Walmart's cheaper, but you don't earn fuel points at Walmart.
And that's the thing. That, you know, the other thing is we go to the Harris Teeter and you earn
You're going to
points
spend
for,
more on your groceries, but save on gas. But you're probably spending more than you're saving on gas.
Yeah. So I guess we make a Walmart list and do that because it was crazy. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing about Walmart is if you put something in your cart and buy it online and they don't have it, they'll upgrade you to like the name brand and not charge
It
you
happened
anymore.
with peanut butter. I put like a regular jar of peanut butter in there, and they didn't have the regular jar of peanut butter, so they replaced it with a 4-pound tub of peanut butter for the same price.
Yeah, they did that twice. It's great because
Yeah.
they're still using it.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
This is going to be a good question for you, but I know what the answer is going to be. Would you rather be married to someone who's a control freak or super easygoing?
I want to be married to you, baby. So that means I got to be married to a control freak.
Yeah. It's funny
But
because I'm
it
the
is
control
super
freak
easy.
and you're super easygoing.
Yeah.
So my answer would be super easygoing because I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
I want someone who's going to go along with me being a control freak.
You know what that card
And
is
you
saying?
need someone to be a control freak.
You know what that card's saying?
We're a perfect
We're
match.
perfect for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I have come to the realization that my control freakishness is just a symptom of my anxiety.
Yeah. Because you have to be ready for blah blah blah.
I have to think through a lot of things other people don't have to think through, and I have to be well prepared. I'm not the kind of person that can just say, oh well, let's just go do that and then roll with it. I worry about every aspect of everything.
And I am the person that can say, okay, we can do that. Because whatever comes up, I can handle it. And there's very few situations that I've been in where I was just like, well, you know.
Because you don't
Because
worry
even if
about...
I'd say, well, I don't know what the fuck to do, I'm going home. That's it.
You don't worry about the humiliation factor as much as I do.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Like, I really don't want to be embarrassed or humiliated anywhere.
Yeah.
And so most of my... Like, if we're going out to dinner, Kevin will tell you it takes a lot to get me to agree to go out.
Particularly someplace new. Because there's the big question marks. What's the seating like? What's the parking like? Can I move around in there? There are some restaurants that we love.
Are the seats going to be comfortable?
Yeah, there's restaurants that we love that we don't go to because the Pocahontas Grill, Pocahontas pancakes on the ocean
They
front.
move you in and out like cattle, and you're literally... I mean, I went with my goddaughter one time. She is as skinny as a rail, and she even complained that it was too tight.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Great
I won't
pancakes,
go there.
great breakfast, but we don't go there because it's such a hard place to sit.
I mean, I have to literally look at places online and try to find pictures of their restaurant so I can tell if can we sit at a table or is it all booths. Like, this is just stuff people don't have to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And so that expresses itself as control. You know, people who know me, like, there was a happy hour after work on Friday. This is another function of my thing. Then we were like, oh, Wednesday, yeah, we're going. Let's go. And then Friday rolled around, and I wasn't feeling well, as you can, well, you probably can't tell on the camera, but my face is betraying me with the cold thing. I really wasn't feeling good, and I came home and went to bed at like 7.
Yeah.
I was so tired. But my friend was like, all right, what are you worried about? What's keeping you from going? Like, because when Friday rolled around, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm going to go. You know, because that's what I do. I really, really try to be like, I'm just going to go with it and go with it. I think everything too much.
Yeah.
So, and that causes a lot of anxiety, which then comes across as me being a control freak, which I am. But only so that I can avoid feeling like, you know, I don't know. It's just what I live with.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could lose a shit ton of weight, be at normal weight, and I would still have those problems.
Yeah.
I think it's so ingrained in who I am.
Yeah, I get it. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things I love about Yelp when we're looking at places. Because a lot of websites aren't going to put on their pictures from inside unless they can have some like
Because
professional
no one
made.
worries about it.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only one.
Yeah. Well, no, you're not, because you go on Yelp and people have taken pictures of the seating. You're like, and that's handy. You know, we'll sit there and like we've made decisions on restaurants by, yeah, look at that chair. There's no way that chair is good.
Stupid they have to live like that.
Yeah, well, it's reality though.
It is my reality.
If we can't go somewhere and be comfortable while we're eating, right across the street, Whiskey Kitchen, great food, except for their shrimp and grits. Don't get the shrimp and grits; they suck. But it's not comfortable to sit, and it's impossible to park there, so we don't go.
And I don't like waiting. That's
Yeah.
another thing. Like, we went out to breakfast across the street a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, let's go at 8:30. And because I like to get in there before the crowd. Like, I want to go in, get my table, not be rushed, not have to wait an hour. And we were a half an hour late leaving, and so then we weren't there until 9, and of course we were waiting. And I hate that. Oh, I hate that so much. I'd rather just run through a drive-thru and go back home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you enable me to be that way because you're so easygoing. You don't ever really push it and be like, oh, come on, you can do this. Let's just... although I did wait. Mm-hmm. We had a good breakfast.
Yeah.
But, like...
Because even when they say their wait is 15 minutes, it generally is almost never that long of a wait at the
I just don't
Big
like
Bistro.
the crowds. And it was so loud we couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I could hear everything. No one else at the table could hear anything, so I was translating the whole meal. What did the waitress say? What did she ask for?
That's why I like margin race. It's pretty quiet there for the most part.
Yeah. You suggested margin raise, and I totally blew it off this morning. I didn't want to get up and get dressed.
There you go.
That's another thing the pandemic did to me.
Mm-hmm.
It just really made me want to...
Not put pants on.
Here's another thing the pandemic did to me. Yesterday, I went and got my hair cut, and we were coming home, and Mom was driving. I was just scrolling through Facebook, and I saw someone in a Color Street group posted that Michael's has these craft organizers on sale. And so I do use them for the Color Street stuff, but I also use them at school because they're little, like, photo cases that come inside a bigger thing. It's like 24 little photo cases. Normally they're $43. They were on sale for $12.99. So I was like, oh my God. So I went to Michael's on my phone, went to the store. They had them in there. I ordered 2 curbside pickup. I love me some curbside pickup. I'm going to order them. And then I was like, gosh, those 2 cost almost half of what a normal one costs. And I should get more because they're always good to have around at school. I can make little word games and put them in there with a label on it and stick it, and then just pull it out when I need something to do. It's a good organization thing. So I went to the Michael's at another location because I didn't want the Michael's here thinking I had in error ordered twice. So I ordered it curbside at another Michael's. And then I was like, Kevin, we got to run all over town to pick up these things from Michael's.
Which I don't mind. Because, you know, the other thing with that, though, is that we get to spend time in the car, which is my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. My laziness factor. And it's the weight, and it's the arthritis, and I just don't have the stamina to walk through and stand and wait in line and all that kind of stuff. And I am like my dad in the fact that I don't want to draw more attention to myself by being in the motorized carts and all that kind of crap. So curbside pickup is like a joy. Thanks, pandemic. How has the pandemic changed your life?
That is a good question. We always like asking for comments, but yeah, what good for you came out of the pandemic? Maybe you like working from home. I've been working from home for over a decade, but maybe a lot of people like that I work with, they say they love working from home now.
Working from home would be so bad for me mentally. Here's another good thing that for me that's come out of the pandemic.
What's that?
So like dealing with the cold. So I haven't had a cold sore in like, God,
forever.
10 years maybe. But now I'm getting this cold sore. I was like, oh, I hate it because you feel like it's all anybody ever sees.
Mm-hmm.
You probably can't hardly even tell.
No.
And but it feels like it's this, it's like this big. And I'm like, I'll just put my mask back on at work. And I'll say, oh, I've got a cold.
Not COVID.
Not, of course, anybody who I work with now who sees me at work on Monday. That's another thing. If you want to just cover your face because you want to yell fuck you to somebody and they don't want them to see you, just put a mask on.
Yeah,
and mouth the words.
But make sure you're not wearing like a clear plastic shield.
One of the ones with the cutout clear. Wouldn't that be stupid?
Fuck you. Did you just say fuck you?
I put on the wrong mask.
Fucked up. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. All right. So next week, I am going to be in such good spirits because I will have a week off ahead of me. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. You all, the weather today looks gorgeous here in VAB. So,
it's supposed to be 79
if that's your
today,
thing, get out there.
75.
Go hiking today.
No, that was hilarious too.
We have some family in town. They were going to go hiking. And Mom's like, I don't even know where you go hiking in Virginia Beach. And
So
we
we
were
just
all like
started
naming
listing-
all these places.
me, Kelly, and Mike were like, the state
Seashore
park
State
here,
Park,
the
First
place
Landing.
behind the courthouse, over at Frenchers, they have a curved out area.
Yeah. Lots of places. So, all right, y'all. Have a great week, and we will see you next weekend.
Bye, everybody.